I'm here with four-time New York's leading trainer, Gary Contessa. Gary, please tell us what goes into a racehorse's nutrition.
Well, each racehorse, just like any human athlete, is a different personality and a different composition. So not every horse gets fed exactly the same. Some need more, some need less, some need different supplements, and we try and accomplish those needs through their feed program. The basic feed program is kind of what you see here. We use a feed called steak horse, and we also use whole weight feeds, and it's a complete feed. And the feed has a molasses, it has a pellet in it, it has a sweet feed, it has barley, it has crimped oats, it has all the things that a horse needs to get the proper amount of nutrition. We try and keep the protein level in a horse between 12 and 14% protein. So this is a 14% protein feed. We augment it with a little bit of a whole oat, and that probably drops the protein just a bit. And we try and keep track of their carbs, we keep track of the protein level, and we keep track of the vitamins. So these complete feeds that we use are perfect for the horse's basic needs. Now, as you get to know your horses, we also add corn oil. Corn oil reduces lactic acid in the muscles. We add corn oil to their feed. We also add different vitamin supplements. If you swing over here, I'll show you one of our vitamin supplements is a product called Red Cell. It's iron rich. It's got a lot of the vitamins that they won't get from the basic feed. Now, there's a lot of these out on the market. Red Glow, Red Cell. You know, a lot of different tack people make their own type of this. But this kind of gives your horse the extra stuff that they need to meet their minimum daily requirements on their vitamins, just like a human. You know, everything you read these days for humans is 25% of your minimum daily requirements, 50%, 100%. I was drinking orange juice the other day. It said one glass orange juice is 100% of your vitamin C that you need for a daily intake. And so we try and meet those minimum requirements in a racehorse as well. And in other situations, you get horses that need more or less protein, as the case may be. We have a condition that occurs a lot in fillies, but it does occur in colts too. It's called tying up. It's like a Charlie horse to a human being. The muscles get very tight. You know, most people have had a Charlie horse in the middle of the night, or you're sitting somewhere and you get that, your muscle tightens up and it's painful. It's excruciating pain. And it's that way for the horse too. We have found in horses that have that repeat over and over and over again, we reduce their protein to below 10%. We keep their carbs high, but we reduce their protein below 10%, and it diminishes the amount of times that situation is going to come up where they tie up. It's one of the things we do to help them not tie up. Tying up, they say, is just way too much lactic acid, causes the muscles to bind, and you get this Charlie horse situation. In a horse, it's very, very painful. They can barely walk. And it's a very common thing. It happens quite often, especially in fillies. So we reduce the protein level. So like I said, the feed program in anybody's barn, whether it's, no matter what trainer it is specialized per horse, and it's an individual thing. So we have the basic feed that you've seen, but we supplement to meet that particular horse's needs with different vitamin programs and different supplements. So every horse is an individual, and there's no standard blanket feed that you give any particular horse. We have lists and lists and lists of this horse gets this horse gets that, and it meets the needs of each individual.
Do certain trainers have certain preferences for certain feeds?
Definitely. Years ago, it used to be just oats and sweet feed and bran, and today they all have specialized different rations they're using. Some people like Todd Pletcher have their own. Chad Brown has his own. They are made for their specific needs. And there's a million different kinds of feed today compared to 50 years ago when there was only 4 or 5.
What kind of specialty feeds do you see trainers using now?
Different makeup of the ingredients, basically, is what it is. They do a workup with a nutritionist, and then they try to put together what they feel they need to get the most out of their horses.
Do you ever see a case where a trainer is hitting a bad spell and then they change feeds?
I have seen that lots of times. I have seen that lots of times, and I don't honestly know if that's the answer. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But
Now, on a typical day, how much and how often will a racehorse eat?
We feed our horses 3 times a day. We feed them after they get done training, which is about now. Today's a little late because we had turf workouts, but between 10 and 11 o'clock, they get what we would consider their breakfast. Breakfast is about 4 quarts of feed. One of these scoops, this scoop is what we consider 2 quarts of feed. They'll get 2 of these for breakfast. They'll get about 3 of these for dinner. That's 10 quarts. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, our night watchman comes by and gives them another scoop if they've finished their dinner. So we try and keep our horses between 12 and 14 quarts of feed a day, and that's in this roughage. Now you'll see, you've been watching this horse over here. He's been eating hay at the whole time we're talking. That's roughage for a horse. There's a little bit of protein in there, but that's roughage. It helps keep them flowing on the inside, helps keep them from getting bored. There is nutrients in there. There is essential vitamins in there. We give them carte blanche. They can eat as much of that hay as they want, and it doesn't figure in the feed program. The bulk of the feed program, the basis, the foundation of our feed program is in the actual grain that we give them and the supplements. The scientific testing that we do to make sure that our horses are maintaining the proper levels are blood tests. We don't do urine tests on horses. We don't do we do stool samples to determine whether or not they have worms, but we do blood tests to make sure that their red blood cells are good, that their white are where they belong, that their muscle enzymes, we actually can do a muscle enzyme test to know if that horse is high or low. So we determine where our horses are at as far as nutrition goes through blood tests, which we probably do about twice a month for every single horse in the barn. It's like feeding a world-class athlete that can't tell you what he needs. You have to guess what that athlete needs. You know, an athlete can say to you, man, I need more salt on my food, or or I'm just feeling lightheaded. I need some more carbs, or I need some fluids. These horses can't tell you anything. You know, they don't tell you anything. It's all body language. So we have to use the body language of the horse to determine how that horse is and how he's doing. And we add the blood tests and whatnot, and that's how we maintain. So it's quite an interesting program, and it's a lot of work. Yes. Yeah, always.